Good day and good morning, friends. I hope you're doing really well. So this week has been a really interesting week, right? So as of this day, I think today's March 14th, 2020, and I had this whole series of videos and prompts and all kinds of things to do around intuitive eating and health. And it's been a crazy week. I've had some personal family stuff, and of course we got this really awesome, I'm totally joking and I probably shouldn't joke, this thing happening in our world right now with worries about health, and we all have them for sure, right? But what I want to talk about in this video, since I couldn't do it yesterday and it just didn't work out, is that whether we are talking about our own personal health and the anxiety about it from others can certainly impact ours. And so today's video is really about having you ask yourself this question: how much of my fear about my health right now is based in my physical reality, my blood work, my body's thriving and functioning, or is it based on somebody else's thoughts, feelings, opinions about me and my body? So we want to be able to answer that question. And if they don't match, what do we do to keep our boundaries? If it is a match that you do have a health concern, does ruminating on it make it better? Or basically practicing radical self-compassion, doing what you can do with the resources you have, and we all have to work on this. We all have to choose this daily, is like choose, even if we feel triggered or feel like, oh, I've kind of absorbed other people's anxiety, or I'm just worried and I'm losing sleep and those kind of things, is at those moments when we can notice it. Okay, find my feet, my seat, my back, and what's true, and what's real. And that's what we have to come back to every day. So I'm saying this video, it kind of works with what's happening in the world, as well as our own personal health outside this virus thing. Because that's what we were talking about all this week, is how do we do intuitive eating and manage our health? Well, it's listening. And it's really hard to listen to your body's wisdom if there's a lot of static and a lot of noise. So really your problem isn't, or really your action step isn't to control the food more. It's quieting the noise. And so how do we do that? Well, we all know. Stop watching so much TV and looking at toxic social. It is finding some quiet time every single day. Thank you everybody who's watching live this morning, by the way. By the way, I know it's Saturday morning. Yesterday just couldn't happen, so I'm just so glad you're here. And if you have questions, if you haven't watched the entire video all the way through and you're just now showing up live, please make sure you watch the whole way, because I'm trying to kind of lay out this case of like, what can we do with personal and bigger health worries? And we can't get body wisdom. We probably don't get accurate information from our inside out if we can't first find some separation from the noise, whether that's internal or external. So I'm wondering if anybody wants to share that, now that we're live, any ways in which they've learned how to separate from the noise. Other people's noise, our own noise. What have you done in the past? Hi Mary, hi Carol, hi Sherry, hi Emily. That's who I see here so far, for sure showing up. So what have you all done to give yourself some space from all your maybe own personal health noise, whether it's blood health, bone health, chronic disease, what's happening in the world right now? What are you doing to create some space? Is it to get outside and off this phone after this video? Is it to work on something that you've wanted to work on for a long time? Is it like, I have the facts, and so now that I have the facts, what is making me continuously go back to what scares me, essentially. Because is that, it really is that our solution. So Mary is saying, I think I need this. I flipped out this week, listened to friends' restrictions. I don't know why. It is so hard. It takes a lot. I mean, personally, it's taken a lot of years. So I don't think there's any magical thing I've done. I think it's just like very persistent practice of like what's happening for me inside right now and what else is going on. Like just day after day, year after year, and making a conscious practice to wake up in the morning. How am I doing today and what's inside? What's happening right now and can I be with this if it's my own stuff? And that includes, of course, our food. A lot of times we wake up and it's like, oh, I don't really want to eat because I ate so much last night. And the truth is you might be hungry and it doesn't matter what you did yesterday. It's like your body's asking for something now. So we have to respond to that. And so it may be that you walked into your office yesterday and you weren't in panic mode about anything, even though you're aware of what's happening in the world and you're taking precautions and all the things. And you were fine, and all of a sudden, all everybody's talking about is like the virus. And by noon, like you're looking up articles about it. That's the power of our environment. And especially when everybody's talking very anxiously about the same thing, it's like if we're not mindful and noticing, it's like I wasn't feeling this way. And just because everybody else feels the same way, and this so relates to fat phobia, just because everybody else thinks that fatness is maybe an issue, it's that doesn't mean that you have to. It doesn't mean that you're wrong for not. And the same thing with this. If you're calm right now around your personal food, or maybe even your relationship with what's happening with the virus, it doesn't mean that you're wrong for not being in panic mode. So it's important to know, like, how would I know if I needed to be, right? And even if there's something to worry about, okay, then what? It's almost like if you're at the place of really needing more help with your disordered eating, it's like, do I panic about it and forget that, just pretend like it's not an issue, and then maybe it'll go away? Or like, okay, what's going to help me the most with the situation I'm in? It's like we don't wait. Good, Carol. So you get out of you create space. That's all this video is about, is create space between you and what feels like too much, what might not be accurate, before you act on anything, essentially. So Sherry says, I just stuffed those thoughts away. I'm just now willing to pay attention to what I'm feeling. Congratulations, that's great. That's how you start. You start noticing that you feel something, a thought, a sensation, and that's going to help you. And that's going to help you get into a closer, more authentic relationship with yourself. And so I'm going to put this as our last comment for today, just because it's the one I wanted to end my discussion on anyway. So Mary says, yes, I'm watching the cases in my area. Probably need a break. I think panic might possibly be bad for our immune system. So that's what I was going to say last. If you're in fight or flight, your immune system can just not be as activated. That's the way it is. That's just the way in fight or flight our immune systems work. That energy is being mobilized towards action. If you don't take action, we obsess. So if you have some panic, you're better off probably going pulling some weeds or raking your yard or something that moves some of that adrenaline. That way it doesn't distort your signals of hunger and fullness, and it also doesn't depress your immune system. That's what I would recommend. So I hope that helps. So yes, stay good to stay, so it's good to stay calm now, yes. And I'm not saying you won't have a little uptick of something, whatever. That's okay. It's what we do with it that matters. So thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.